Welcome everybody, this is Cyborg, and we are going to do a Mortal Kombat 11 fantasy draft. So much along the lines of a football fantasy draft, this will be for Mortal Kombat 11, where we will be predicting rosters. Not just predicting rosters, so to speak, we are going to actually be drafting the characters that are assigned specific points, and I will share all that information with you later, so just hang tight. But we're going to be drafting from the entire games series, like every character that's ever been in a game. That's the pool that we're drafting from, about 70-ish characters in the pool, and it's between Temp, Redman, and myself. Down for Ality, also Redman, if you don't know. And us three are going to be doing a fantasy draft, and we're going to carry this all the way through MK11's marketing cycle, basically who makes it on the roster, and then other little fun guessing things or predictions or betting, whatever you want to call it, on who will make the initial gameplay reveal at E3, who's the boss of the game, stuff like that, which are worth more points. And each character's been assigned a point total, 1 to 6. So those who are at the lower end of the spectrum, like a 1 would be the least amount of points you can get for a character's inclusion. So we'll say Sub-Zero and Scorpion. They are only worth 1 point because they are the most likely to make the game. Whereas you get someone like a mocap is worth 6 points, the most points you can get, because they are a much bigger gamble in the sense that they are very unlikely to be in the game. So if you pick that character and they happen to make the game, you're going to get a much bigger payout, so to speak. So there's a gamble involved, and we've ranked all the characters with that in mind. And as we go through and pick these characters, we will shout out basically how much the character is worth point-wise. And I will also be posting the final results, so you guys will have a visual of what the drafting sheet looks like, so who's on each of our rosters that we chose. And once a character's chosen, just so everyone's clear, when a character's been chosen, you cannot pick that character. So if I pick Sub-Zero, Temp and Redman cannot pick Sub-Zero. So once a character's been picked, no one else can have them. They're on your personal team, so to speak, much like I said, NFL, draft, all that good stuff. So we're going to be in line with that. And I can't think of any other little things to add here. We're doing snake draft style, I guess. So we're going to determine who goes first, who picks second, and who picks third on each round. And we'll have several rounds until every character's picked. So all characters, it's just like dodgeball. Nobody will be left off the table. And what snake draft is, it means whoever goes last in that round will go first the next round. So if you picked third, you will start the next round. So you're actually doing 2 picks in a row. So you have an advantage with your disadvantage. So since you have the disadvantage of picking last each round, or on that round, you're going to be able to start the next one. Now that that's all cleared up, got kind of the little simple rules, and like I said, when we post this, or whatever we choose to do with it, share it if we decide to. We will be sharing this document with everyone, and we hope everyone else wants to join in on the fray as well, and we're going to have an overall ranking, so whoever in the community wants to join in, we'll keep track of everybody's scores based on the points they get. Yeah. And as far as what prize you get at the end of all of this, we haven't decided. Maybe it'll be like a giveaway, like a t-shirt or some little figures, whatever. Maybe some, free DLC. We don't know. So don't expect anything yet, but we would like to do something to motivate it and just keep it fun for everybody. Maybe we do like a pool where everybody chips in like $1 and then you get an overall, I don't know. I don't know if that's even illegal. So I can't guarantee any of that. But anyways, we'll get started here now that that's all cleared up. And yeah, so one last thing, I guess, to clarify is how points work. So I mentioned before, Sub-Zero is worth 1, mocap is worth 6, if you want to get the extreme examples out. If they make the actual initial roster, each criteria we have has a specific multiplier of how many points you actually get. So Sub-Zero is not worth just 1 point. We have different modifiers based on what they actually do. So if you choose that character to be the initial gameplay reveal, which we'll explain how that works later, that's worth 3 times that person's points. So if you choose Sub-Zero on your roster and he makes the initial gameplay reveal, which is worth 3 times their point value, that would mean for Sub-Zero you get 3 points. probably because he's often in the initial gameplay reveal. So clearly he's not going to net you as much points as, say, Mocap, where he's worth 6 points. You times that by 3, you'll get 18 points if Mocap makes that initial gameplay reveal, as likely as that is. So you get the idea of how this works. And if they make the initial roster, it's worth 2 times their points. If they are a story mode cameo, they're worth half their points. If they're DLC, they're worth exactly their amount of points at 1 times. And if you choose them that they are going to be the boss of the game, they are worth twice their points. So I will repeat all that towards the end when we get everything squared away. So let's get this started. First we got to randomize who goes first, second, and third, of course. So I will roll a d20, a 20-sided die, if you're not familiar what that is, commonly used in D&D. So first up, I will roll for myself. I got an 18, looking good. Temp is next. Temp got a 1. Well, I've rolled like a 1 every single time we've done this.
Well, actually, that's not too bad. That's actually okay in retrospect.
You could be last. So. You could be last. We're on the extremes. Now, Redman either needs to get a 1 or an 18 or higher to get on one of the ends. Otherwise, he will be in the middle.
I'm okay with that.
Redman,
which I think is the probably the least preferable for me, but...
Redman got a 10, so yep, he's the monkey in the middle. Yeah, I usually don't prefer to be in the middle either, but you got to take what you get. So I will go first here, so I will replace my name here, so bear with me, just getting everything squared away. And then we got down 4 / Redman in the middle, and then Temp bringing up the rear. Okay. So with that said, we're going to start with round 1. And I got to pick first here. Man, spotlight is on me. And we will, like I said, tell you which characters we're picking as we go through this. And we will tell you what point value they are actually worth before modifiers are taken into account. So that way you can kind of keep up with us. Plus, you'll be able to see in the visual once we share that. So let's get started. I think we got all the rules set. Is everybody good? Everybody ready for this?
Good to go.
Okay, my first up is Moke. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going Hail Mary, baby. I'm all in. All in on black. Or all in on black 32. Let it ride. No, first up, I will choose... Man, now that the heat is on, and there might be some stalling. Not really stalling, but there will be times where, we got to think, so don't expect this to be action-packed, crazy, Sometimes, since this is actually us taking this seriously, sometimes you got to think a bit, so this could drag on for a bit. First up, though, I will say... Oh, boy. Got to get the biggest bang for my buck. I'm going to go Noob Saibot at 2 points. Noob Saibot.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
2 points for Noob Saibot. So he's highly likely because he's 2 points. Just so everyone's clear, lower numbers means less return because they're more likely. So Noob Saibot, yep, that is my pick. He's quite a popular pick amongst the community, so hopefully he makes it. It is your pick, down 4.
I'm gonna go with Cabal.
Interesting. Interesting. From a gameplay and competitive perspective, I could see. And how many points is he worth?
He's
3 points.
Okay.
Probably because I don't want Temp to take
Well, my strategy is going to be very different this time. We've made a few lists already, but I'm mostly going for points. You'll notice.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be
points.
points.
Most of my picks are going to be point heavy.
It ain't about favorites. It's pure points on this one. So we don't pick your favorite characters. I should clarify because we will get comments on this. It's not because we're saying the characters we're picking before them are better. It's all about the points. Certain characters have less likely odds, and you got to manage that gamble. So, anyways, Temp, you have 2 picks, sir.
Yes, my first choice is obviously Li Mei. For sure, I'm going to pick her. I think she has a very good chance to be in the game. And she's at a whopping 4 points. And I think she has high potential to be in the gameplay reveal. That's 4 times 3, so that's a healthy point value if my prediction is right. So we'll do the E3 predictions at the end after we completely drafted, but that's my rationale.
Okay.
My second pick is Fujin for all the exact same reasons. So
all solid picks. Yes.
Yeah, I think if my prediction is correct, that has a fuck ton of points already. I think I'm already at like what, 24 points or something.
I mean, we'll add it
Sure,
all up
yeah.
once
If
we
I'm
go
right,
down
but
that
yeah.
road. Yep.
So there's my pick.
Yeah, I mean, two solid picks right out of the gate. I was close to picking Fujin, so I understand the reasoning. I tried to play a little bit safer bet for my first pick, but yeah, I mean, Fujin, obviously, it's hard to gamble on him because he's so controversial in the sense of we thought he'd be an MKX, he wasn't. So
It's hard to be that wrong and rebound, So.
Right. I mean, Django almost lost money on that, so he pretty much thought Fujin was in for sure.
I mean, he technically did lose money on that.
Yes. So go ahead and mark yourself off for both of them, and then Redman, it is your pick, snaking back for round 2.
I'll go with Jade. I think she's got a good chance of being one of the first characters revealed. If not, she'll probably be on the roster.
How many points?
Popular demand, 3 points. So
3 points. Yep. I mean, yeah, she has I mean, she's a solid pick for your points because I think she's likely, and that's I mean, 3 points for a likely character like that is definitely a good bet.
Yeah.
I think she has revealed potential too at E3.
Yeah,
so.
you got a lot of potential with that one. Okay, so let's see. So that's Redman's pick, and I'm up next here. Make sure you put your points on the right of your character's name, by the way. So
on the right?
Yep.
Okay, my bad.
Left to right. I'd run out of space on the left of mine because the rounds, but yeah. Okay, so my 2 picks. I'm going to go... This is where it gets a little challenging. Boy. Let's go...
This is harder than the other rosters.
It is, like I said, it's going to be very hard. So, like I said, this can take a bit. I'm going to go Frost for my first pick.
That's a good pick. I can definitely see her.
Yeah, I needed somebody with 3 points. Everyone knows she's 3 points. And she is definitely one that's pretty highly demanded amongst the audience, amongst the community. So I needed somebody that had decent point return as well as potential. I played it safe with Noob, and you guys temp on the right of in the black column. Like we're doing.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You're good.
I did not see that. All right.
And then my second pick, or leading into round 3, I should say, I will pick. I'm gonna pick Kenshi. Another 3 points potential. And I feel like he's decent shot. I mean, he has been in a fair amount of games, so I could see him having to sit out a game. But I feel like that's a safe one for my points. So
yeah.
Those 3-pointers, those are usually the nice middle ground of safety, whereas also likely. So and good point return. So anyways, those were my 2. So now it is your turn down 4 on round 3.
Okay. If I picked like the pre-order bonus, would he count as DLC or main roster?
That counts as main roster. Good question. Okay. I count that as main roster because I don't think.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't think they really count that as DLC, even though it is. But yeah.
I wasn't gonna pick anyone like that. I just wondered that.
Sure.
Let's see. I'll go with Onaga though. I think he's got a really good shot. And
interesting.
That was my next pick. Damn it!
I would not have gone that route, but I mean, how many points is he worth?
Boss points. That's why I picked him. Shit.
Yeah.
How many points?
Onaga's very likely.
Oh, he is
4 points.
4 points. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yep.
All right. For my next pick, I am choosing Smoke. For pretty obvious reasons. I think he's likely. There's going to be a ninja quota, so I got to be careful how many ninjas I pick. But
right.
Noobs I bought was taken, so Smoke I think is the next logical choice, especially now that he's a Ninra, so I think that's going to help him out. He is at 3 points.
Yep.
And after Smoke, I choose Cyrax. I think he has a very strong chance. He's going to unlock a few points, so I'm going for those two.
I hate you.
I was gonna pick.
I
hate
wanted
you
him on
too.
my team just so I can root for him,
Well,
but at the same
he's
time,
not.
this could get nasty, folks. It's gonna get ugly. It's like I have to root against one of my favorite characters. All right, let's see how it goes.
Gotta mute myself because I'm clicking like a motherfucker over here.
All right, Redman, you are up, sir.
I think I'm gonna go with Havoc. I think he's got a good shot.
Man, good points too.
If he makes it in, I don't think it'll be initial reveal, but I do think he'll be in the game. So
How many points?
4 points.
Yep, 4 points.
So good shit there.
Good pick. Good pick. Let's see. Next up, got 2 here.
Oops.
I'm gonna go. Man, this is rough. I feel like I'm betting all my money. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm typing my choices like as you talk, just so I can buy myself some brain time.
That makes sense. I should do that.
I will go. I'm gonna go Shang Tsung.
Good
Like I
pick.
said,
Okay.
those 3 pointers. So he's 3 points. Those are the ones that I feel like it's like that nice. It's not a complete safety net, but it's good return. It's that nice middle ground.
Yeah.
And then I will go with Rain.
Fuck. That's what's killing me.
Yeah, I gotta go with one that.
As I was typing, I in the name Rain.
Yeah, he's a bit like. He's one of those that could be 3 or 4 because he's on that edge. He's only worth 3 points in this, but I feel like maybe between the death of Prince and maybe they want to pay tribute to that, and just his role in MKX leads to potential more Rain down the line,
and the ending as well,
and the fan desire, and all of that into account. I feel like if there was ever a time, I mean MKX was his time to be on the initial roster, but if there was ever a time again, MK11 just feels natural to me. It's time. That's my pick.
Makes sense. So am I next?
Yes, sir.
All right, I think I'm gonna go with Serena. I think she's very likely. She's cameo in MKX, so
Yeah, she's
I don't
kind
think
of
she'll
in
be the
that.
initial reveal, but
Yeah, she's kind of in that Lee May territory. She's in the same boat. Played a cameo. Has a fan base there. Worth 4 points. So it's a
Yeah,
bit of
she's
a
in good
gamble,
shit.
but yeah.
Okay, that leaves me. Let's see. I'm going to say Natara.
damn.
Another points choice. Despite I know people were saying she's on the leak list, but I think her chances are fairly.
I don't even remember
big.
that list. How many
I
points
don't
is she?
know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. We talked about it in one of the recent Warrior Shrines, and even I can't really remember it. So Natara and then Sindel for my other choice.
How many was Natara? Did you say?
Natara was, I believe, 5 points. So she's
Okay.
a juicy one. She's gonna have a lot of points if I
Yep.
get that pick. Sindel also was 4, so even if I'm wrong, like the wager's in my favor. So, and she's a Revenant. I think a lot of the Revenants are gonna be safe bets in my opinion. Wrong choice of words. A lot of the Revenants have a very good dice roll chance. And I'm not gonna call them safe. Nothing
Sure.
is safe in Mortal Kombat. But I think for points, I think she's a worthy wager for sure.
You both are
Okay.
definitely riding that line and not really swinging for the fences quite yet, other than Natara. But yeah, I mean, you're both. I think I'm playing it the safest so far. I have a 2 and several 3s. You guys are more between the 3s and 4s. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so those are your 2 temp. Go ahead, Redman.
I'm gonna go for Bo Raicho. I also think he's very likely. You'll see in MKX. I think he may be like the Kenshi where he comes back, and he was in the story. I think he has story potential with his
Right.
ending. So yeah, Bo Raicho's tight. 3 points, so
Cool.
not bad.
Yeah, 3 points. Those are always, like I said, those are always the nice kind of. I feel like the best.
Yeah, I'm going between like the lines of like not
Yeah.
like super likely characters, but characters that have a good shot.
And don't forget to cross off like
Oh yeah.
the other ones. Next up, I will go. Let's see. Whew. I'm gonna go. Yeesh. This is tough. I want to play it safe, but at the same time, I need to start taking some risks. Otherwise, I'm gonna be that guy that has a lot on there, but you guys will win it based on the gambles. So
There's a lot of risks already off the board too, so you're right. Now, if you're gonna do it, now's the time for sure.
Yep.
I mean, just a heads up. I don't want to scare you, but I'm picking your characters, so watch out. Watch your back. Now you know. So.
All right. Let's see. I don't know how many more of my characters that are worth taking points wise, but I am going first of all with Ashra.
Okay.
It's my first pick of ending the round there. She is worth 4 points. She's a bit more of a gamble than maybe a Lee May or a Serena because she didn't, she wasn't a cameo, so she's just kind of floating around in the ether somewhere. Don't really know where she's at, but and then I will close it off with Devora at 3 points.
It's a safe pick, yeah.
Yeah, another one at 3, and she's at 3 points, so I feel like I'm riding those threes, but I think I feel like that's a nice strategy because a lot of these threes have a reasonable shot. So and that ends it for me there. Go ahead, Redman.
Let's see. I think trying to think.
I know it's getting tough. It's getting tougher and tougher as we go.
I do want to go for like the big ones, but I'm also trying to like wait it out and see if you guys don't want to go for those. So
yeah,
I'm trying to keep it safe.
Sometimes it's that turtle that wins the race, So
Yeah.
sometimes trying to go too big too often will bite you in the ass. But it can be that Hail Mary play at the end.
Yeah.
Because if somebody else is racking up points over like throughout the reveals and you're like feeling discouraged, but man, it only takes like 1 or 2 reveals of characters that you put a lot of chips on to make up for it. So
Yeah, I guess I'll go with another who would work well with Havoc, Hotaru. So
nice.
I don't think he's like super likely, but if the points are there and if Havoc's in the game, Hotaru's probably going to be there. So why not?
And Hotaro's at 5 points.
Yeah, 5 points. All right, Timp.
Again, more points. I am going for Scarlet and Dagon.
Dagon, really?
Interesting.
Yes,
I mean, I
think
feel
he's up there for sure. In my opinion, I think he has like at least a 50% chance of being in the game. Not super high, but
I mean, I think he's around there too, with all the mentions in the comic and the mention in Kenshi or Takeda's ending. So yeah, he's a focal point there. So it does make sense that he'd be there somewhere. Okay, Redman, you're back up.
All right. Well, speaking off that, I think I'm gonna go with a big risk, Blaze.
Damn.
Like
first
6 points. I mean,
yep.
That's fucking bold.
Even
I'm not that bold.
That's a first 6-pointer on the board, Blaze.
That's like a big gamble. Like this is just pure luck. I don't know if he'll be in. Like I doubt it. But
of the Sixers, I think he's the best pick.
I was thinking that too. Of all the 6-pointers, I feel like Blaze has probably the best shot. So, not horrible. Not horrible. It's good. I mean, if you were going to go a 6-pointer, you might as well get the best one out of it early on. So,
but
makes
man,
sense.
this early a 6-pointer too, though. I mean, that is balls out. Like, that is...
like I said, you're doing the all-in bullying where you're just like trying to bluff your way through this. All right. Next up, I got 2 picks here. I need to take a couple risks here, at least one risk to. I mean, these 3-pointers are working out. I feel like they will work out unless they just take a complete left turn with this series that I am not anticipating. I will go with, man. I'm gonna go Shujinko at 5 points.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. That's a good 5-pointer, I think.
Yeah, I needed to get a 5-pointer on there.
Before I did.
I need to go with a 5-pointer to at least have a shot at, I need somebody to root for that has a big payoff. I feel like if you don't at least have that chance, if you're all safe, then it kind of takes away some of the, the high interest, the high gamble, fun feeling. So with a bit of a riskier pick, with that to balance it out, I think I'm going to take somewhat of a safer pick here. And I will go... Oh, boy. I will go Reiko. Let's see. Let me survey the field one more time before I commit. I will go... You know what? Screw it. Let's do one more Hail Mary pass. And I want some skin in the game. I'm going to take the other pointer that I feel like has a reasonable shot, and that is Drawman.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't expect that, but
I feel like he's the only other 6-pointer that I have any sort of confidence in. Maybe, I mean, there might be one more on the board that I won't mention, but I feel like there might be one more that...
There's
What
not
is it
one
I
on
see
the
on
board.
that
In my
now?
opinion, there's not one more on the board. It's over. You
But-
got the last one.
All right, but those are my two. So
Well,
Shujinko
no,
at
you're
5,
right. No,
Drawman at 6.
I'm looking again. You're correct.
There's
sir.
one
There's
more, I
one.
think. Like okay, but yeah, none of them are great. Go ahead, Red Man.
I'm actually gonna go with. I don't want her in the game, but I'll go with Jackie. I think she's very. I think of the kids, she has the least chance, but
Interesting.
of characters, I think she's likely, and she's 4 points, so why not?
You can't go wrong with 4-pointers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
And
can,
of the 4
but
pointers, I think she's got one of the best chances, at least that I can see.
yeah. I mean, it's
over
hard to
some
tell.
others.
The coming out of MKX, the ones that debuted in MKX are so hard to tell.
Yeah.
Definitely hard to tell. You
They
don't
could
know
just
if it's
dump
gonna
them, or they could bring them all back.
Exactly. All right, Temp, you have 2 picks.
All right. I'm going to start playing a little bit safer. Not the next round, but this round, I'm going to take a pretty safe path. I'm going to say Katana and Liu Kang.
Oof.
Because I'm pretty sure they're in the game and they're both worth 2 points. So
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Not bad. Not bad to reel it back in a little bit just to ensure yourself some points. So probably a smart move on your part to at least get some guaranteed points.
well, I figured like since I'm essentially picking in pairs, I was hoping like one of those. I wanted to pick those two together because it's just an easy 4 points, So.
Right. Okay, and
Right.
then go ahead and mark those down, and then Redman, you are up.
Okay. Yeah, going off of that as well, I'm probably gonna go with Ermac. I think he's a
Safe one,
likely
yeah, for
character.
sure.
Yeah, safe in 3 points, I think is good. so-
Yeah, you can never go wrong with one that's has a proven track record of popularity, and not only with the fans but the development team. You can tell they like Ermac, and he's always like a flashy character. He's a nice one to throw in there because he just looks so good all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see that. And for 3 points, yeah, you can't go wrong. He's one that's easily between a 2 and 3 points. So anytime you can get somebody that gets you just a little bit more points on that line, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's in a little bit of danger this time. I don't feel
Yeah.
like
Same.
he's
Agreed.
as locked as he was. I didn't think he was locked in the last game either. But yeah, the tenure helps him out a lot. And if another character I'm not going to mention comes back, then his chances are super high.
Sure. Okay, so I got 2 picks here. Let's see. I'm gonna do. I feel like I need to play it somewhat safe on one of these. First, I'll take Shao Kahn at 3
Okay.
points.
I was also eyeing him. Shao Kahn
Yeah.
was good.
He's a good DLC choice or a pre-order choice for
Yeah,
sure.
he just
Yeah.
has a lot of buzz about him, and as we've talked before, I feel like he could easily be like the Doomsday role in the sense that I feel like they've done really well at making his type of stature and gameplay work between Injustice and MKX and all that. They've kind of figured out how to make that type of gameplay work as a playable character. So I think he's kind of overdue for that, especially not being playable in MK9 outside of PC and all that.
Yeah, they did
mods
Goro
and
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Why can't they do Shao Kahn?
And then my second character pick is going to be Shao Kahn's at that level 3, or the 3-pointer. I feel like I want to go high again, but man, this is tough. Who to go with?
It's tough.
Yeah, it really is. I'll go with another kind of safe pick. I'll ride that line just a little bit more, and I will go with Devora at 3 points.
Okay, that's not a bad pick. I think she's less likely than like most of the kids, but she still got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, for 3 points, she's definitely pushing that 3 to 4 line, but I'll take it. I'll take that risk. I feel like they set her up for a return. There was nothing about the game that said she's one and done, so I could see her coming back. She's got a reasonable chance. Anyways, those are my 2 picks. Devora at 3 points, Shao Kahn at 3 points. Go ahead, Redman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with probably a safer pick and just pick Kotal Kahn because I don't see any way he's not gonna come back. Like, the story pretty much demands that he'll return, and he was one of the more popular characters in the next, so I think it's pretty safe.
I'd agree with
you. Bad, so
yeah.
Even initial gameplay, I think he's got a shot.
No, yeah, I think on every level he has a reasonable shot, and that's why he's at 2 points. So yeah, I think he definitely has that good shot at coming back.
Yeah.
All right, Temp, you are up with 2 picks.
Yes, I'm taking the safe routes. I wasn't going to take the safe route, but I want to save my unsafe picks for next because I don't think anyone else is going to pick them. I am choosing Johnny Cage. I think he's an easy 2 points. Hopefully I'm not wrong. For other reasons beyond this draft, I hope I'm not wrong about that. And Aaron Black. I think those are 2 fairly safe choices. 4 points right on the board right there. So I'm going to start filling those out now.
Yep, Johnny at 2, Aaron at 2, and then it circles back to you, Redman.
Yeah, going off that as well, I'm going to take Takeda. He's at 3 points, so, like, not that bad. And if Kinshi's in the game, he's probably going to be there too, so
yeah,
why not put him in?
Definitely.
He was one of the more popular of the kids, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I will go for... Oof. It's getting tough. Let's see. I'm gonna take. I'll take Reiko at 4 points, just because of all the 4-pointers left. I feel like Reiko has a reasonable shot. His fate in the comics is a little concerning, but we'll see what happens there.
He's gonna change their minds about him.
Yeah.
In what way? For Reiko or change their minds toward against Reiko? What do you think?
Oh, including him. I think they could have, reconsidered him after the comic. But I don't know. They could.
I'm leaning towards no on Reiko, to be honest with you. I don't feel like we're going to see him.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult.
Might be in part because of that Sean Emmerich thing, but
that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I feel like
which is understandable.
That tainted.
Yeah, if they just want to bury that character, I don't think anybody other than extreme Reiko fans could really blame them. But anyways, at any rate, I'll throw him on the list just to get a little bit more skin in the game on the 4 points. Him. And then for my second pick, I've only got 1 2-pointer on my list so far, and I feel like I need a little bit more safety. So I'm probably going to go for a 2-pointer here in, let's see, 2 pointers. There's not many 2-pointers left, but I will go Cassie Cage. I feel like I have more faith in her than some of the other ones.
She's likely, like, even initial reveal, like, definitely has a chance.
So I did Reiko at 4 points and Cassie Cage at 2 points. So we'll see how those turn out. Redman, it is your turn.
All right. There's a few I want, but I think I'm gonna go with Kano. I think he's, like, for some reason makes every single game. I like him. Everyone else hates him pretty much, seems
someone on the inside really is pumping up that character. Someone at a desk at NetherRealm Studios really likes Kano for whatever reason. So
I like Kano, but
I like him too. But
he hasn't missed a game since Deception, so
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
time. All right,
Messed
Tim,
up now.
you got 2 more.
All right, this is gonna be a half and half. One of these is super unsafe. The other is like literally as safe as can possibly be. I am gonna pick Kintaro.
Damn.
Part of this is supported by the fact that I am told, I have not seen this with my own eyes, I am told he's playable in the mobile app. So
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is.
hopefully that is a strong indication because this goes beyond the draft as well. I want this character back. My other character is Sub-Zero because he's gonna be in the game. He's probably gonna be at E3. Let's get those points.
How many points were each of them?
Yeah, that's it.
1 for Sub-Zero, and Kintaro was 5, I
I
believe.
think Sub is
Correct.
honestly a guaranteed 3 points. He's gonna be shown at E3. Like, there's no way. He won't.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the benefit of the 1-pointers is they're gotta be in, and you're not just getting the 1 point, you are getting the multipliers taken into account. So yeah, I mean, it's basically guaranteeing yourself some points on the board. So that's always nice. I definitely don't have any 1-pointers yet, but
It's hard not to pick Sub anyway. Like, as dumb as it is, there's no rational explanation for it. But I would have been salty if someone else got Sub other than me. There's no reason for it. Points-wise, it makes no sense to feel that way, but I feel weird without putting him somewhere on my list, so I held out as long as I possibly could.
okay.
I'll actually take Scorpion because of that. I'll go ahead and
Coming
it's
back
1
to
point as
Scorpion.
well, obviously, but like you said, guaranteed points. Why not? Like,
Well, then I'm going to take the last 1-pointer. Anyways, that's who I was going to take next regardless, is Raiden.
Okay.
So
yeah.
1 point for Raiden, and yep, he's gonna serve some more purpose beyond that. So Raiden is my first choice there, and then my second pick will be. Let's see. Since I played it super safe with one, I need to go big for the other. But how big to go? That is the question. Let's see. I will go actually with. You know what? What the hell? I'll take Triborg as much as I don't want to take Triborg. I need a 5-pointer that, in there, if variations continue, as much as I don't want this to happen, I want variations, but as much as I don't want this to happen again, Triborg representing all the robots. If they keep going the variation route, I can see them keeping going along with this character's story, because his story does... it has a logical continuance of the Lin Kuei, the whole Tekkunen and all that stuff. So, what the hell? Triborg's worth 5 points. Might as well throw that Hail Mary pass.
makes sense. Yeah.
Won't be happy with it, but if I'm not going to be happy with it, I'll at least get some points out of it.
Yeah.
All right, Redman.
All right. Yeah, going off the Revenants, I think I'm gonna take Striker. I don't think he's got a great chance, but like Tim said, the Revenants do have a slight more chance than.
They're strong
characters.
dice rolls, in my opinion, for sure.
Striker isn't the most popular Revenant, but I think he's got a chance at least.
He's more popular than I think people realize. Like, his
MK9
fans
really
are
helped
pretty
him.
rabid.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I liked him anyways, but MK9 excelled him to way bigger fandom. So yeah, I want Striker. Striker's awesome.
All right, Tim.
That's a good choice. For me, my next two are Nightwolf.
Oh, and he has 4 points in case that wasn't.
Yeah, 4 points.
I can't remember if you said. Go ahead.
Oh, Nightwolf for 3 points. Out of all the Revenants, I feel like he's fairly likely. Just because I don't know. It's hard to explain why I think Nightwolf is likely, but I remember him being a big deal when Deception was revealed. We all saw the picture of Nightwolf in Game Informer, and everyone got fucking lit. So it's hard to explain why this character is as popular as he is, but he is popular. And I think when people think MK3, I think he's one of the characters that certainly come to mind.
Definitely.
So I choose Nightwolf for my first choice. For my second choice, I choose. Let me make sure he's still even on the board. Reptile. Yeah. It's getting harder and harder. But Reptile, we put him as 2 points. I don't know if he's that safe. I think he's a strong bet, but I don't know if he's 2 points. But I think because of his history makes me choose 2 points. When we all selected these points, I had to go 2 just because historically, like Kano, it's hard to bet against him. So,
It really is. I mean, he's got the
Yeah.
ninja factor, but also he was left out of a few games. He wasn't in MK vs DC. He wasn't in Deception. So, I mean, he has sat out several of the not all-inclusive games. You don't really count MK9. You don't really count Armageddon. So when you take Deception and MK vs DC out of the equation, he hasn't really been that character that's just always there. It doesn't feel like it anyways.
yeah,
think
you
they
feel his
like
absence for
Reptile.
sure. What's up, Redman? Or
Whereas,
Downpour?
well, I think Naras likes Reptile. I
Yes.
think you like redesigning him, and
He's the original secret character. I feel like he has a charm to him for sure.
we see him as like a jobber in the story, but I don't think that's how they see him. They like the character, so he's got a good chance.
From a
I feel
look
like
and
even if they didn't
gameplay.
like him. Yeah.
From
I
a
mean,
look and
this-
gameplay perspective, I just think he adds a lot to the game. Like marketability for sure. If
that's
not
what
like as
is really
DLC
going
at the
on.
very least. DLC I could easily see him. If he doesn't make the cut, he's gotta be one of those shoe-ins for DLC.
It's kind of how I feel about Ermac too. Like if he's not in the game, he'll probably be DLC or something.
I
He'd
don't
sell like
know. I
hotcakes.
feel like historically DLC choices have been so weird. Like they've
Yeah,
always been
totally.
reserved for non-category characters to me. But
I guess I'm going off Injustice 2 since a lot of those characters
Okay.
were fan requests, like Red Hood and Starfire
Right.
and such.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard to
that's
tell.
fair.
It's hard to tell. I feel like after MK11, we'll have a much... Because so far with MK9, you had all the ones you needed. And then with MKX, like that... Yeah, MKX is the weirdest because I think the guest characters took up so much space that it just made the other 4 really difficult. And you had the whole Tremor Uprising. You had Triborg trying to represent the cyborgs all in one. And then Bo was like one that was somewhat fan demanded. Not
He
the
was
most,
such a weird
but
pick, though.
yeah, I don't know. It's definitely weird, so we'll see. Redman, you are up, sir.
Okay. I think I've been playing it. Well, I've just picked Striker too, so I'm gonna go with fucking Tim's most hated character, Sonya. Fucking, I think she's a safe bet.
well, you can have her. She is all
Okay.
yours. I
don't
will
hate her
not
as
miss
much.
her.
I like Sonya in MK9.
Yep, she's 2
MKX,
points.
she was terrible.
Oh.
Did I fuck up?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Just undo whatever you did. It just changed the height of that.
I don't think it was me. I don't
Or
know.
temp. Press the undo button. Temp. All
I'm
right,
working
just-
on it.
okay.
Okay.
Undo?
I pressed undo, but nothing happened. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
same here. I'm not having any
All
luck
right,
with
I'll
the
just
new button.
fix it manually.
But yeah,
You're
Sonya.
you're
doing
on
that.
you're on it, so I think the fact that you're on it is
Yeah, you do
messing
your
with-
thing.
click off of it.
I
you
did.
have
I'm on
you,
Reptile now.
I know, you have to leave that area. Damn it, I can't.
Oh, it's okay. Fine. I am out. Hands off the keyboard.
Yeah, I can't fix either. So something went wrong there.
Yeah, it's not
It's
so
alright.
easy, is it?
It doesn't really
It's a
affect
bit of a
anything. It's
workout.
just
Hey, I'm not the one that messed it up, dude. Anyways, roll on.
I
So
think it's you, isn't it?
yeah, it's me. You pick Sonya at 2 points.
Yeah.
I will go with. And make sure you cross them off. Striker's still just sitting there.
Oh, striker. I'm a striker.
I'm gonna go Taven at 4 points. Because why not? If we go down that road, at least
Shit.
can get some sort of something out of it. I'll take the 4 points in that regard.
I mean, I like Taven, but I'm not willing to bet on him, unfortunately.
I don't think he's well. Going off the endings, maybe. Like I think he has a decent.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said it like if you get one, you kind of have to have. You don't
Yeah.
have to, but I could see it happening. So why not? I'll put some. I'll take the risk, I guess. And then I will back off from some risk and try and go a little bit more likely route. And I will go. I'm gonna go Kung Lao for 2 points.
Okay. I do think Kung Lao has less of a chance for next game, but he's still like.
Yeah, I agree, but we'll see. He's once again somebody that missed Deception and MK vs DC, so
True.
it's possible they haven't gotten tired of him yet. And the competitive crowd loves him, so.
Yeah.
All right, you're up, sir.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll actually go with Tanya. I think she's got a decent chance of coming back. Not like guaranteed, but they didn't really leave her story. They left her story open so they could do with anything with her really. So I don't think she's like a guarantee, but they clearly like Tanya in some
Right.
aspects. So why not?
Definitely.
And she's
Yeah,
4
she was
points.
actually my next pick. I was going to pick her next. I
Yeah.
was going to pick her another character.
Because you know she's not going to be DLC since she already
Yeah.
was DLC. She was close to being an MK9, so clearly they do like her. So I could see her coming back for MK11 on the initial roster. So yeah, it's not a bad way to go.
I hope she does come back because no character plays the way she plays, and it's unfortunate when they nerfed her. They left all the uninteresting broke stuff, so she had the pressure still, which was boring, and she had the the mix-ups, but she lost all that cool aerial combat she had, which I don't know. I hope we see that again, more balanced. But
Yeah, I never learned her because they just changed her so many times, and I didn't want to deal with that. So
no, fair enough.
yeah, they seem to get like a hard on for like changing a character like many times until they're just not even the same character. So that's why I avoided her. But she was cool, just broke at first. That was the problem.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. It's a double lose for me because if they're not in the game, I lose points and I lose some of my favorite characters. So
Yeah.
that's the problem with this system for me, at least. It's a problem with my strategy. But 2 characters. I was going to pick Tanya and Tremor, but now I am just going to pick Tremor. And
I was thinking about him.
next to Tremor, I'm going to pick someone who I'm surprised has not been picked yet because I think his chances are fairly decent. I will pick Baraka.
Okay, yeah,
Interesting.
I was considering Baraka, yeah. If not, even if like he may be DLC this time if he's not on the
I also think he has E3 potential too. So
Interesting.
he's clearly they do like him.
the only reason I say DLC potential with you is because he's technically dead. So we'll see.
Yeah. Not really needed for story.
Absolutely
Anytime,
not,
yeah,
no.
you have a character that fans really like but aren't needed for story, that to me always makes the DLC character likely. So you chose who and what for what points? Tremor for 5 and Baraka for 3.
For 3.
Okay, so Redman, you are up, sir.
Okay. I gotta think about this. It's getting like
I know we're getting down to the nitty gritty where it's hard to tell.
Let's see. God. Fuck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with I'll just go with the safe bet, Melina. I don't think she's dead now, but like we saw with MK9, dead doesn't mean shit. MK in general, dead doesn't mean shit. They could just make a clone and call her Melina.
Yeah, with Shang Tsung probably coming back, the big talking point among the Discord is the flesh pits. So I think it's
Not only that, I mean, DLC is always a possibility for someone like that too. Definitely.
And
I would buy Melina for sure.
I think a lot of people would for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go Shiva because you gave a reasonable explanation for why she might make it if they need to have that Shokan representation. Plus, she's a female, so I could see that. Not the strongest possibilities. At 4 points, though, I'm willing to at least throw down that possibility. Be a nice return on that investment. And then the other one I'm going to go with is... Let's see. I'll go... Sector. Since you took Cyrax, you asshole. So Sector at 3 points is my second choice. I would much rather Cyrax be that 3-point character I'm rooting for, but whatever. Well, maybe we'll get both. I want follow-up on Lin Kuei stuff, so I'm rooting for Sector as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they both have a pretty good chance. I'm not too worried about.
Don't lie to me like this.
I'm confident one will come back.
You said that to me on MKX. You're like, Cyrax will be in. Don't worry about it. Yeah, well, he missed the bus, apparently. All right, Redman, you are up.
I'll take a gamble and go with Kai, just in case. Like,
interesting.
I know he was considered for the story in X, and maybe they'll have second thoughts about him. maybe they'll consider, unique gameplay style. He could fit in, for the Earthrealmers who are lacking in numbers after fucking Raiden.
Right.
So, yeah, decent shot. Not decent, but I could see him getting in some capacity. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to pick Kai. So with Kai off the list, I am going to go Kung Jin and Jax. Kung Jin for 3 points, Jax for 2. I think those are fairly safe bets. I'm not too worried about Jax not being in. I hope Jax is in. I like that gameplay style a lot. That MKX kind of really sold me on Jax, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So
Yeah, the only reason I didn't include Jax is because he got killed in like 3 endings. So I'm like, maybe he won't go for it.
Maybe he's dead.
Like he'll die in some capacity, maybe. So
that would be so weird if they give him this huge like red carpet in MKX where he's like, "You think you're bad," and he walks into hell and fucks up all the revenants, and then the next game we find that he died off screen by. Like it'd be so weird to me. I can't even wrap my head around that. But maybe we'll see.
it would be hilarious.
Maybe they shot Sonya instead. Maybe they'll mix it up. Who knows? We'll see.
That's what you want.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm gonna guess Quan Chi. Yeah, yep, it's you.
Well, I know who I'm picking.
Yeah, this did not happen. I never said anything.
No, actually, I don't think Quan. I'll just go with Ferritor. I think, Kotal's group. Like,
yeah,
they have the least chance of all the characters, the new characters. But if they just want to include them for Kotal's storyline, where he's a part of that group, so.
And you've got Ed Boon. Ed Boon's favorite, or at least he said Ferritor was his favorite character introduced in MKX. So. Yeah.
Yeah, good, decent chance. More than a lot of the 3D arrows. So
I mean, if he follows up on that, then you got a sweet 4 points at least. I mean, before it's modified. So
yeah,
it's a nice little kind of feather in the cap. Let's see. I will go with Quan Chi. Just because he always seems to find a way to make it in the games, and because even if he doesn't make the game for the story, he doesn't come back alive. Once again, DLC potential. And if Shang Tsung does come back, what's saying he doesn't somehow revive Quan Chi back anyways? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like if Quan Chi comes back, all bets are off. Death really does mean nothing.
I agree. I don't want him to come back. Characters that die should stay dead, but I mean, we did just have a game filled with Revenants. And Revenants took the spot of characters that were alive, like Cyrax, just throwing it out there.
True, it could be like a Tekken 6 Hayachi situation. That's fair. I can see that. But or there could be a flashback where I don't know, Shinnok is just scratching his head thinking about all the good times with Quan Chi, and they show that as a story chapter. Maybe I don't fucking know. But God, it's not even the fact that he's he's a necromancer, he can bring himself back. Well, maybe, sure, whatever, but God, for the sake of drama, if you're trying to tell a story, what was the point of building up that entire confrontation and murder? Right. So whatever. Anyway,
I mean, so much. Yeah.
At the very least, he could be a story mode cameo, in a flashback, and I get some points off of him. So
I would laugh if he brings himself back. Okay, I'll giggle, fine, but yeah.
Yep. You should have made sure you destroyed his fingernail that was left on the ground. Revive from it somehow. All right, and then for my second pick, I want to go a little bit more dangerous, and it's the only other 6-pointer that I thought had somewhat of a shot, and that is Moloch.
Okay.
And that's only because, with Grundy being the way Grodd being the way he is, I could see them trying to revamp Moloch to some degree and throwing him into the pool somehow. Get him in
Grundy actually isn't a bad comparison either. I could see him having some Grundy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a popular character by any means, but he very well could be dead at the hands of Quan Chi. But Hail Mary and all. We'll see.
Not very likely, but yeah, possible.
All right, Redman, you are up, sir.
Let's see. Yeah, going off that note, I'm going for Motaro. Just if they get the inkling to do them, like they put Grodd in Injustice 2, maybe they'll like fuck it, let's
Try and
pull
go.
this trigger on Motaro. Yeah.
Try and wow people with making them actually work.
Yeah, if they just came out of the gate with him and was like, "Yo, we're putting fucking Motaro."
Yo, we got a horseman in here.
Yeah. There's no one else like him in any other game other than maybe like Idol's the closest comparison. Like Motaro would be so unique and would turn a lot of heads. So.
Shows
It
up
would
in
be
the.
weird with the cross up. Like if you cross him up, you land on his back. So like,
Yeah, I
every
don't know
time.
how any of that would work. I'd laugh if he's in a trailer though, only to be driven through a bridge by Raiden again.
That is one of my favorite moments.
Brought back to life just to have the same fate over again. All right. Temp, you are up, sir.
all right. Yeah, the well is going dry for sure. I am going to pick as my first choice Kira, just because I mean your chances are always better if you're a female, in my opinion. I feel like it's easier from an art perspective to redeem a female's design than it is to redeem a male's design. A Moloch, I feel like would be really hard. I feel like visually is the reason why we haven't seen them back yet, because it's just what makes it worse is they reestablish that Deadly Alliance design in the intros for MKX. So I think Moloch is really hard. I think Kira is the better bet of those two, but Kira's not 6 points either. So, but guess who is? Su Hao, who is my other choice.
Damn.
Only because he's not technically impossible. That's the only reason I'm picking him. And I know there are some people who want him, so whatever.
I kind of want him.
That's fair. I mean, people like grapplers, so why not?
Yeah, he'd be a perfect fit.
I think it'd be an easy redemption if they tried, but I don't see them trying. So
I don't either. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, this is fucking God. Man. I'm struggling. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
it's tough. Like if I had to bet my house on any of them, I would not be happy. Like
Yeah.
I would be I would not get any sleep over any of these characters.
Yeah, it's really hard. I
I
think.
think there's one on here who still has a decent chance, but I'll let you do your thing.
Yeah, I think of them. I am going to pick Chameleon with a C. Only
Okay.
because I think maybe they want to do one of those characters where it's like he has every style fucking known to man.
I think he looks so cool they brought him back. Like I think that
Yeah.
design would look badass next gen
And they like doing those weird
or current gen.
things. So maybe he could be like the Mokujin, or he could just be, ninjas. He could be anything really. And I don't
I mean, he
think
could be like the
obviously-
Triborg of this game, where
Yeah.
he's thrown in as DLC just to kind of have a cool looking character that does cool things. So
I was thinking DLC as well, and they like those weird characters, so go with Chameleon.
yeah, if they don't go the another fan created character, like rumor character type of approach for this one as DLC, like they've been doing, not really. I mean, like you have Scarlet. Tremor wasn't really a rumor character, but you get the idea.
Yeah,
Chameleon could be
definitely.
that kind of role, I guess. For my two, I'm going to go Movado, just because I feel like out of all the characters left for 5 points, I mean, maybe they're feeling like, hey, we can revamp this character.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very easy to make cool. I don't think he'd be a challenge. I'm surprised I did not pick him sooner, honestly.
Yeah, I had to look back through everyone's picks just to make sure he wasn't like left out for some reason, like because yeah, I was surprised he hasn't been picked yet. Not that he has a great chance by any means; he's worth 5 points, but out of all the characters, like I could see him coming back before like a Su Hao and stuff like that. So
I agree.
We'll see.
I mean, if you look at the base character, he's basically a dude. Just give him a slightly cooler suit and make the foot blades a little more like acrobatic, and I think you're done. I think he's fine, especially if Dagon comes back. So
I
yeah,
didn't mind his alt costume either. He had something going there.
Yeah, he's
I
got
didn't get
potential.
it.
He's got
it
potential.
didn't look bad. I still understand what that was. So what's up, Cypress?
No, I was just saying, yeah, the character does have potential, especially switching from a 3D world to a 2D world could do this character a lot of favors. So we'll
A lot
see
of
what
those
happens.
characters,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that applies to a lot of them. And then my second pick, man,
It's rough. It's so
Yeah,
like-
I know it's gotten to the point where, I mean, you're really just choosing between all of them. Who do you think has even a remote like sand particle of a shot that they're feeling like up to a challenge of reinventing? And for that reason alone, I'm gonna go with you know what, screw it. Let's go Darius.
Damn.
6 points. Why not?
If Otaro makes it in, I mean, Darius could drag himself in those coattails and just kind of fall.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we go down the Chaos Order Realm route, if we go down that road, maybe they're feeling like we want to bring some of these other characters back. Give them.
If Jax is dead, dude, you need that black dude.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad. It wouldn't be a bad idea in general because the way I look at it, these characters are like the black sheep of the series in the sense of they are that bottom of the barrel, and if you raise that bottom bar up, you're only making the overall series roster better by improving these characters, not having them drag down the average so much. So maybe they're feeling like doing that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways, Darius, 6
see
points,
that.
second choice.
makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cyber Sub just because he was in the last 2 games, technically kind of with Triboard.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm gonna change that. If he's in, I think he could be a Triboard Rage, but I don't think he'll be in as his own character, and I don't think that counts.
Yeah, that's kind of what's scaring me off from him.
That's I'll go with Jarek then. I think, you know, they need more Black Dragon, and he's like the only one other than Tremor and Kano they can even use, really. Other than maybe Tazia, but that's not likely, and Jarek isn't either, but maybe they'll do something with him, so fuck it.
Yeah.
5 points. Maybe it'd
5
just be
points.
funny-
It's like 5 points I'll never see.
It would be funny to hear the Black Dragon live on in an intro or some shit, or his outro.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
All right. This next one, I'm just burying a dollar bill in front of my face. I want to pick mocap just because Sixers. Why not? Like honestly, like we're in the 11th inning. I don't really feel like the points even matter at this point. So like, yeah, I'm gonna pick mocap.
I'm gonna laugh if somehow like a lot of these characters make it in. It's an all-in game, and we just have to scrap everything.
Dude, if it's an all-in game, then I'm gonna bank. Like this is gonna be awesome. Like so. Then for my next choice, this one's hard because I feel like they set it up so much that this character's not coming back. But I will pick Shinnok just because if Quan Chi can fucking weasel his way, fucking Shinnok can weasel his way back in the roster. Because unlike Quan Chi, Shinnok's at least not even technically dead. Like he could be a head in a jar somewhere just talking shit. Like
That is true.
At least a possibility.
And hey, if you think about it, you will get your story cameo points at least.
Yeah, no,
As long as they show his head in the background, that counts.
Good shit. I like where your mind's at, Cyborg.
Dude,
So,
that's like yeah, that's some free points.
Man, imagining a Mortal Kombat game with Shinnok and without all the crazy 50-50s. Oh, that sounds so tight to me. And they actually have time to work on this time, so.
It should have been an MK9.
Yeah, he should have been an MK9. That would have been so sick. Oh, God.
Be looking for that head in the jar. That's, I mean, that head in the
I don't think
jar.
that's- yeah.
That head in the jar is going to be worth as much points as Sub-Zero making the initial roster.
You could
Yeah,
even be like an
exactly.
interactable on a stage or something. Like you never know.
Yeah.
That would be tight.
All right. Redman, it is you, sir. I should have thought about that sooner. I completely forgot his head was still alive. Like, I thought he was dead. Otherwise, I would have considered that aspect.
Yeah, he was in a bad place for sure, but yeah.
Yeah, going off of that, I'm gonna pick Goro just because maybe Goro's lair comes back. Who knows? Like
Yeah.
possible.
He's just chilling in the
So,
background. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, Goro it is. I don't think he's coming back at all, but the off chance that happens. How many points is he? 4? Yeah.
Yep.
4 points.
It'd be funny they bring back Goro's later and just for Paulo to smite fucking Redman, he fucking puts like Brainiac in the throne or some shit like that. Just out of spite. I'd laugh. I'd laugh.
Still called Goro's lair. It's like the same exact thing.
It's like crossed out. Yeah, that'd be tight. I'd yell for that. I would laugh more than a lot. Oh, I gotta fucking ink out Shinnok in here. What am I doing?
Well, there's no real great options here, as we all know. So I'm gonna go. First of all, I'm gonna go female chameleon, because if they decide maybe same kind of logic of other chameleon is one, it's 5 points, and two, you know, maybe they decide to revamp her and do something with her and Reptile. Who knows? So I'll throw female chameleon in there, and then for the second option, I'll go Dairu. Same logic of maybe they want to kind of fix their worst mistakes. And he's not unfixable. It's just, I don't care to see him come back, but they want to like revamp him hardcore, like 90% change who that character is. That's certainly possible.
There is only one character in the history of Mortal Kombat who is truly unfixable, in my opinion, and that is Meat. He is the only character, in my opinion, who truly cannot be fixed.
I totally disagree. He could be a zombie, dude. I mean, if they want to go the zombie archetype, which they don't really have, that's Meat.
No, man. Like, he's too moist. I don't like it at all. I'm not a fan.
All right. Well, you might be getting Meat. Unless Redman takes him.
I'm actually going to take Meat, yeah.
Dude, I mean, he could be one of those extras that just get thrown in there because he's simple. Like,
yeah, he could be a joke. He could be, you know, an actual character. You know, maybe they change his backstory. Like, he's some kind of like Drama now. He's like in the Netherrealm and he's just fucking...
Right.
If he ends up being the Mobigen like he was in MK4, oh my god, it's gonna be a long day, man. Oh my god.
I actually had that suggestion, like just make him a skin for everyone or something. Like they could make him work. Like as a joke, I think that'd be
as a Havoc alternate. I still maintain that would work. I mean, it's like the same concept, anyways.
I don't want him, but like I don't think he's unfixable. But
yeah.
Well, you like Cobra anyway, so
is that? Is that Meat picture real? Is that from Armageddon?
Which Meat
that
picture?
Chrome just posted in the chat?
Yeah, I don't think it's from Armageddon.
Is he is Meat like officially like part of the Dragon King's army now? Is he like one of the soldiers? Was that his story?
I'm not sure, honestly. I can't remember what it was.
Because if that's true, then I mean, it at least gives him. He's from the Flesh Pits.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, because I was about to say at least then he'd have like somewhat of a shot. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not fix him. Like, I think he could be fixed. I don't think he's like...
He's just way too gooey. I can't do it.
All right, Tem, take us home. 2 left. Those are yours.
All right. Sorry, Rain Reptile. I'm contractually obligated not to pick Mike Boone. I want to. I trust me. Given my choices, I would not pick... I would pick Mike Boone over Cyber Sub-Zero easily, but not over Cobra. I do like Cobra. The only reason I did not pick him, despite how much I like the character, is because there's no way in hell Cobra's coming back. It is just so beyond the realm of unlikely. But I don't mind Cobra. Cyber Sub. Yeah. So yeah, Cyber Sub Cobra.
Cyber Sub, last one out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, well that's the draft. We'll kind of recap who got what, just so everyone knows. And then we'll get into our predictions on basically placing our bets on our rosters, who we think the boss will be, and who the initial gameplay reveal characters will be, which both of those are worth big points. So we'll go over those criteria here in a second. First, however, we will recap who got what. So recapping my list, I got Noob Saibot, Frost, Kenshi, Shang Tsung, Rain, Ashra, Devora, Shujinko, Draman, Shao Kahn, Devora, Raiko. Did I put Devora on there twice?
Yeah, you did.
What the hell did I... What the hell did I not get? I don't know.
We'll probably have to go back and listen.
Yeah, I'll figure it out either way. Anyways, I'm sure I can find it just through process of elimination. Anyways, carry on. Reiko, Cassie Cage, Raiden, Triborg, Taven, Kung Lao, Shiva, Sector, Quan Chi, Moloch, Mavado, Darius, Chameleon, and Dairu. Quite the who's who of Mortal Kombat. Yeah. All right, who'd you get, Redman?
I got Cabal, Jade, Onaga, Havoc, Serena, Borecho, Utaru, Blaze, Jackie, Ermac, Kodokan, Takeda, Kano, Scorpion, Striker, Sony Blade, Tanya, Melina, Kai, Ferrator, Motaro, Chameleon, Jarek, and Goro and Mead. Sadly.
Sadly. All right, Temp, who'd you get?
All right, I got Li Mei, Fujin, Smoke, Cyrax, Natara, Sindel, Scarlet, Dagon, Katana, Louis Kang, Johnny Cage, Aaron Black, Sub-Zero, Kintaro, Nightwolf, Reptile, Tremor, Baraka, Jax, Kungjin, Kira, Suhao, Mocap, Shinnok, Cobra, Cyber Sub, no dash.
No damn.
So yeah.
Did anyone have Kung Lao? Kung Lao.
Yeah, you did
Cyber.
Kung Lao, I thought, yeah. That actually, yeah, you have him on that number
yeah, I got
17.
him. Yeah, I listed him. Devon, either way. Yeah, he's on my list, Kung Lao. Yeah, I got to figure out who that other 3-point. I hope I legitimately did not pick Devora twice, because I would have only hurt myself by doing that.
Well, I mean, that's on all of us for not, inking out the shit. So I would have remembered that.
No, yeah, I don't think I chose her twice. I probably just accidentally put the wrong name in, but we'll say that when I go back. There's clearly some other character that I was thinking of Devora after the fact and probably wrote her in. Anyways, so with that said, let's jump to
the E3 reveal.
Yeah. Do you want to do that or the boss first?
Oh, the boss. That's a good one, yes.
Because boss is worth less points. So I will once again explain how the points work, even the ones that we're not predicting. So judging from lowest to highest on terms of what's worth points. So all those characters and their points, how those work are the following criteria. So you don't just get the 6 points just because the modifiers are where those points come into play. So if they are just a story mode cameo, they are not in the game, but they do show up in story like Li Mei did last time, like Serena did, so on and so forth, then you get half their points, and we'll say rounded up. We'll just say rounded up and make that official. So in like Shinnok's case, you'd get 2 points, or if it's like a 5-point character, you'd get 3 points. So that's the lowest modifier. The next highest would be if they make the DLC roster. That is worth their points flat, so 1 time. So if Noob Saibot for some reason does not make the game, and he's DLC, he would be worth 2 points. Next up, we have the initial roster. They are worth double their points if they make the initial roster. So that's what the main thing is that you're going for, is just for them to at least make the roster. And then the boss is worth 2 points, 2 times their points as well. So we got to predict from our own rosters. I can't choose one of Redman's characters or Temp's characters. I got to choose from my own list who I think on my list could be the boss. So that is worth double the points if I guess that correctly. And then lastly, the biggest one is worth 3 times the points, and that is predicting who is going to be in the initial gameplay reveal for the game. And we have allotted 7 spots for that. So from our own rosters, we got to choose 7 of our characters who we are going to put our chips on being in the initial gameplay reveal. Now, it may not be 7 characters in there. It could be just 4, could be 5, could be 6, or could be more. But we get 7 choices. So now that that's made clear, we will start off by choosing the boss and putting our chips down on who we think from our own roster is the boss. So Temp, why don't you go first while I try and figure out who the hell I could have left off my list.
All right. Insert Tony Danza joke. I want to go Emperor Liu Kang. I feel like that's one of the reasons I picked him. Was in case he was the boss, not only would I get the bonus points, but no one else would. So I am going to pick Emperor Liu Kang for ×2 if he's the boss. For the record, I don't think he's the boss, but out of everyone on my list, no one else. I mean, if it is Onaga, I could pick Reptile in theory. I don't know how that would work, but
by proxy.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a loophole. It would be hype if it worked, and part of me is tempted to do that. But for simplicity, I will go Emperor Liu Kang.
All right.
Yeah, and with
Redman?
that, I'll go with Onaga, obviously.
So go ahead and make put the little squiggly, like the approximation symbol, on your choice on your list, so that way
Hey, my mic so you don't hear that.
so that way we remember who you chose. And then Redman, you were saying?
Oh, just yeah, on my list, Onaga is a clear choice. I think the only one that could fit other than that is Blaze, but I don't think they're gonna do him. So Onaga's got the best shot in my
Sure.
anyways. So I will do that. Oh fuck.
And those points and the modifier plays a big role because that is worth ×2 of their points. So if you choose something that's less likely that you have on your list, then obviously you're going to get a bigger payout.
How do I alter this? It won't.
Double click and then put it next to their name.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then, okay. And then on my list, I have a couple candidates here. Obviously, Raiden makes a very likely candidate. But he's only worth 1 point, so that would only get me 2 points by guessing him correctly. Whereas if I want to go a little bit like less likely, I could say Noob Saibot or Shang Tsung. Shao Kahn even, if I want to repeat
I think even Triborg is a potential candidate if you want to really stretch.
I mean, yeah, you would have to go full on. That is a Hail Mary for sure.
Yeah, but dude, that's 10 motherfucking points, bro. Like, it's...
Yeah, I mean, it's the difference of 2 versus 10. I mean, that's not a bad...
You even wager Shang Tsung if you're really feeling bold. I mean, it just depends. I don't see that happening, but I mean, if you're right about Raiden, it's like, so what, right? You know?
Yeah, it's only 2 points.
Although I'm gonna feel horrible if like
I lose by 2 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel like a horrible person. So you do you. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Now I'm gonna throw down on. You know what? This is a game of. Man, Shao Kahn was the main boss of the first game. Well, MK9, even though Raiden kind of played sub boss to him. Not Raiden, sorry, Shang Tsung. Getting things mixed up in my mouth. Giggity. And then, like I feel like every point counts, so I should just throw down on Raiden. But at the same time, it would be nice to have. I'll feel even more stupid if I don't get Shang Tsung points. Man, that is a tough call. Yeah, I don't see Shang Tsung being the main boss, even though the whole Deadly Alliance thing and the callback to that could be interesting. Damn. This is difficult. I will throw down on... Screw it. Let's just throw down on Shang Tsung. Why not? Okay.
Maybe salty if Triborg is the final boss.
Dude, that would be rough. Like, I would be kicking myself for sure.
Why Triborg, though?
Because of the Takunin. Yeah, the Takunin or whatever.
I guess, yeah. I just don't see him as...
Maybe you fight, like, Sector, Cyrax, and Smoke and stuff, like, before him. I don't know. That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be
like,
crazy.
It's like an endurance round. That'd be sweet.
That would be neat, actually.
Or like the first form is just like fucking like Triborg and like people clothes with like a fucking like royalty like gown over him. Then when you knock the fucking rope off, like he goes into Cyrax mode. He's got all these gears and shit around him.
It
Then
could be
like in the final mode, he's like Sector. He's like a fucking tank. Like, oh god, that'd be tight.
Yeah,
I hate Triborg so
it would
much.
be sweet. Like it would be like a, especially if you have to fight them all in a row. Like that would be sick.
People want a big boss like Apocalypse, so this is.
I do like different. I do want like a different type of boss. I'm not a big fan of just like the ultra Shinnok, the ultra Shao Kahn. Like I don't like.
Yeah, Ultra Shinnok was bullshit. I hated that form. Oh my god, it was like a jobber out of Doom. I couldn't like. Yeah, let's not do that again.
Agreed. But Triborg, no, I'm not for that. But
it could be funny. Like the novelty would almost be worth it to me. But go on.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that figured out, and yes, I indeed chose the same character twice. You know, I was that committed to Devora that I wanted those points to count as 2. So what we've done is, since I picked her twice, and we're all supposed to end with 25 in the end anyways, because there are 75 characters in the roster, I guess, to choose from. Temp has graciously donated a very likely character in Cybersub. So I've got that going for me to fill that gap, that Devora ×2 left behind.
Well, you know, if I had to pick the top 3 things I'm going to miss most about Cybersub.
Yep. That's pretty much speaks for itself. All right.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it
then,
does.
so we'll move on. We chose who we want, or what? Not who we wanted for the boss, but who we are gonna bet as the boss. Just to recap here, real quick. Temp chose Liu Kang. Down 4/Redman chose Onaga, and then I chose Shang Tsung for potential points. So, next up is, and I guess we could do this before. I don't know how we want to do this. Is we still have the trades to go through. Is there anybody with any potential trades in mind? Otherwise, we can take that offline.
That's a really good question. Let me look
Because
at
I figure before, I mean, we should have done it probably before we even did the boss, but I mean, it doesn't matter. We're there. Before we do the initial gameplay reveal, however, when we got to throw down 7 characters, we might want to work out any trades. Is there any trades that we want to consider or go through?
I'm looking through everyone's list, and I honestly feel like I got most of everyone I wanted. Everyone else is more of a sentimental pick, but all the point characters I wanted for points' sake, I pretty much got. The only one I would go into trade is Jade, but I don't think down 4 is going to take my jobbers as as a fair trade on that.
Yeah.
So, especially since I do think she will probably be in the reveal at E3. So no, I have nothing viable to offer for my trades anyway. So,
I'd like to trade something for Cyrax if you're willing to entertain.
Sure. What do you got for me?
Well, I will offer one of equal value and then some. So I will start off by throwing Sector into the equation.
Okay.
Because you have said that you think that both of them could be in and should be in. So there I'm meeting you at least 1-to-1. Obviously, Sector is not as fun to root for as Cyrax, I understand. So to sweeten the deal a little bit, I will even throw in... let me see... My second Devora. No, I'll throw in a wild Taven. Sector and Taven. Taven worth 4 points. Sector worth 3. So Sector is going to meet your Cyrax, but then Taven is just a nice bonus. Just think of it as a nice bonus, you know? You got Dagon on the list. You could throw Taven in there. You could have the brothers. 4 points. Could potentially prosper into 8 points. Hell, maybe even just makes a story mode cameo, and you've already got yourself an extra bonus too, just because. Just for doing nothing.
Sector. I'll say no to Taven. I want someone else.
Okay. Let's see. Got a tough crowd.
I'll make an offer. On your list, if I may, I will take your Sector.
Oh, don't say the name.
Don't say the name?
Go ahead. I know who you're going to say.
I don't know. I think you'll be surprised, but I want your Movado.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Shujinko. But,
Nah.
Movado. No. Yeah. Oof, man, that's rough.
It is rough. What you gonna do about it? You have time to think. Hey, there's no rush.
I will trade you Sector and Movado. Damn, that's 5 points though. That I could just be out 10 points for just a favorite pick. I just want Cyrax.
What are the odds of Movado being in the game?
Dude, I mean, you say it like that, but I mean, it's certainly possible. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
It is so unlikely.
You are trying to sell me on this so hard. Let me think here. Not against it. Just trying to...
Nothing worth doing is easy, Cyborg.
Oh, boy. You know what, Redman? I'm gonna offer something for your Jade if I can put the other one on hold for a second.
Sure. Go ahead.
I wanted his Jade, but I didn't have any offers. Go on. Yeah.
So Redman, for your Jade, who's worth 3 points, I will throw in Noob Saibot at 2 points. No, I won't do it. I can't do it. I'm twisting my nipples in frustration. I will throw in a A very clearly going to be in the game, Cassie Cage at 2 points.
Okay.
I know that's less than Jade, so clearly not as tempting, but I will throw in addition to that Kung Lao at 2 points.
Nah, I think I'm good.
Bro.
Jade's like the only one I'm really confident in.
She's also got strong reveal potential at E3.
Yeah, that's why I think I'm sticking
But so
with
does Cassie and Kung Lao. They're both up there, dude. That's like, they're both worth 2 points. They're almost a guaranteed 2 points. And if Kung Lao's not playable, he's for sure going to either be like story mode cameo or DLC. And even if not, like say they're both in the game, they could definitely, I could see at least one of them being E3 gameplay reveal. You know?
I don't think that either, yeah. I think those of them are...
Yeah, so you agree to the trade then?
No.
I will throw in, hold on, I'll throw in a third option. I didn't want to have to do this. A third option, Cyber Sub-Zero. He's just a bonus. Think of it as a bonus.
What's this bonus shit? He's not a bonus.
Like, he's just a free potential 5 points. That's all.
Potential.
Bro, you're getting Cassie Cage, who's like a lock, Kung Lao, who is likely, and Cyber Sub. 2 2-point characters and a 5-point home run character for a 3-point Jade.
I'm sticking with Jade. You
Oh
have
my
to.
gosh.
I mean, my door is still wide open,
Jeez.
Mr. Cyborg.
Hard bargain over here. Holy cow. Okay. One more offer to Redman before
Okay,
I
all
jump
right.
back to the Cyrax offer. I feel like the Jade offers some nice leverage here. This is like Monopoly. Like I'm trying to leverage with Redman to get more leverage out of them. So here's my my next offer for Jade. I will Cassie Cage and Shiva. And I don't even have to sell you on Shiva because you already know why Shiva is a reasonable candidate. 4 points. I'm giving you a character that's safer than Jade and a character that's a little less safer than Jade, but for way more point turnout. What?
Yeah, I'm stuck on the...
That Movato's looking pretty good over there now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm confident in Jade being initial reveal. Like maybe it won't happen, but I think I'll stick with that. Jade. Sticking to my gut.
So Cyborg.
So I got, hold on a second. I've got for you Cassie Cage, Triborg, and Shiva. What do you got?
Jade.
Okay, we're done here. We're done here. What was your offer, Temp?
I will take your Sector Movado for a Cyrax.
I feel like I'm getting ripped off.
The Red
here.
Dragon being a prominent figure in the
Okay,
Mortal Kombat
it's actually
storyline.
it's quite better than you're painting it out to be.
Maybe it is. I don't think that's the point. Trade me Movado.
Look,
I would do it honestly. Movado is highly sought.
I think Redman has a very strong point.
Okay, what if we up the ante a little bit? Okay, you want
All right.
Movado and Sector from me because clearly you gotta admit you have some faith in Movado having somewhat of a chance out there. So, what I'm gonna need from you is a Hail Mary type of character as well. Out of the 6-point characters you have 3. Hell, we can even throw in some 5s in there. What about, can you give me a Tremor in addition?
No, I can't. I think Tremor actually does have strong potential.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay. Well, let's say this. I'll tell you what. I'll give you my Cobra if you give me your Movado and your Sector, and I'll give you Cyrax.
So wait, hold on. Let me just clarify the deal here. So it's Sector and Movado on my end for your Cyrax and Cobra?
Yes.
Bro, Cobra. Come on. You gotta know Movado is much better off than Cobra.
It's 6 points, though, man. You got your 6er back. Says 6, doesn't it?
I say we go a little bit bigger than this.
Okay.
The only way to do this is if we both up the ante enough to where it's reasonable for both. I'm willing to give up Movado and Sector for your Cyrax. And... Kira. Five and three for 5 and 3. So Movado and Sector for Kira and Cyrax.
Maybe, okay, yeah, I'm open-minded. I give up Kira, I give up Cyrax, I get Sector, and I get Movado. Yes, I will take that deal.
I'm going to be so
Internet
pissed if
handshake.
Movado is in the same game. All right, we've made the trade then.
All right, I'm
So we'll change the list here. Cyrax.
Let's be real, he won't be. Nevada will not be in the fucking game.
Kira. Okay. So
All
5
right,
and 3 for 5 and 3, even trade.
All right. All right, cool.
Okay. All right. So any other trades that anybody wants to do? I'm looking over my list. Everyone take a minute to go over your list one more time, or everybody else's list, and then we'll shut down trades. Temp, do you want Shujinko? I picked him pretty early on. I know you're...
It's not that I don't want him. It's there's no one I'm really willing to give up at this point. Like even Sector Kira was not the easiest thing I've ever done, but I do think Movado has a way better chance than Kira, so I think I made the right decision.
Liking that Fujin you have over there.
That's the only one I want.
We'll keep liking him because the sign says closed.
Bro, why don't you guys
Not
trade
corrupted.
Jade? Why don't you trade Jade and Fujin?
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Down for. How would you feel about if I give you Fujin and
I think it's just an even trade straight up. I wouldn't offer too much out of the gate.
I think no, I don't think it's an even trade because I think Fujin's going to be in the reveal. So that's 6 points.
You said that about Jade, so it's an even trade.
Yeah. Well, I think Fujin's more likely. Jade was less controversial. Like there was no sign in the crowd that says when.
So then
Jade.
you want more from him, is what you're asking.
Yes,
for.
I want more.
Okay.
I want Jade, and I want Kai.
No way. Fuck.
All right, well then we're done here. I think.
Damn, that shut down quick.
All right, no, that was fun though. I'm glad we traded.
That was good. Yeah.
Dude, if Movado's in the game, that
would
be
be
the best Nethercast
no.
episode we've ever recorded.
Stop it. Stop it.
I hope he's in the game. That would be.
They reveal at the same time.
He's initial.
Initial reveal. That would be, they reveal Movado at E3, dude. Oh my god. Have any remorse over there?
No, I don't have any remorse because the way I see it, I mean, you already told me basically what I feel in the sense of if they're going to bring back between Movado and Kira, who would you bring back?
I'd bring back Kira.
Exactly.
I'd bring back Movado, personally.
But I would have also brought back Lee May and Fujin and MKX. So I am not. I'm the guy who said Cyrax was a guarantee.
No, I know. I'm not
Yeah.
saying either of us have any any sort of credit of predicting like the roster. It's just, I mean, if it comes down to it, Movado, I mean, they both have they are on pretty much equal footing in a lot of ways. That's why they're both 5 points. Red Dragon versus Black Dragon. I just feel like Kira, I don't know. I mean, there's certain ways you could paint Kira where she could become really interesting and unique. Don't just make her a Kano and Sonya hybrid. I mean, same goes for Movado. So yeah, I mean, it was a good trade, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As far as trades, yeah, I don't. Unless anybody wants anything from my list, I can't. I mean, there's other things that I would like to trade for, but I feel pretty confident in my list otherwise. So unless there's a way I can somehow rip away Jade or something. I don't think there's anything Redman's gonna buy from me unless I'm willing to give up Noob and maybe somebody else. But I don't want to. I wanted on my list the people I actually want to root for being in the game. So that's what I was shooting for. That's why I wanted Cyrax. I like being able to root for the people I want and get points out of it. I want to be happy and rich in points.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So, anyways, okay. Sounds like everybody's on the same track. We're done with the trades then, at least for the time being. We'll cut that down, or we'll shut that down for now, and then initial gameplay reveals. Then, Redman, you want to go first and throw down your 7 picks, or do you guys want to do this one by one? Do you want to one character and just do one by one instead of dumping your load?
Fun. I like one by one.
Okay,
so I think that's hybrid.
Red, you go ahead and choose first, unless we want to re-roll for who has to start their thing off.
All right, so initial reveal.
Yep, go ahead and choose one of your characters.
Initial gameplay, okay.
And put an asterisk next to their name so we can kind of keep track of this.
All right, let's go ahead with Jarek. No, I'm kidding.
Going deep.
Yeah, Jade is my first pick.
Solid.
Most likely.
See, I don't know if I have a whole lot of potential in this realm. My characters aren't really
I disagree with that. I think you have one good starter for sure. One.
Cyber Sub, I'm on the same wavelength, my friend.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Cyber Sub was?
Dude,
that'd be fucking wild.
Okay, well, I'll start off with just Noob, because I feel like all of us want to at least lead with one person that is going to wow people, and I feel like out of my entire roster, it's the reason why I started with him. He would definitely be one that gets people talking and very, very hyped up. So I'll go Noob Saibot.
That makes sense. Yeah.
For my first pick, I'd like to pick Movado, because I think if he has a good chance, he could be on the E3 reveal lineup. So I choose to pick Movado.
Get the hell out of here, dude. Get the hell out of here. I don't believe you. You're throwing away one of your picks, and you're stupid, dude. Get the hell out of here.
Are you really doing it?
He's doing it. He's Mike Boone.
Well, I mean, if you look at my list, I actually do think like he's a good wager. I think there's one other character who's a little more likely, but I don't think the points are worth it.
Was he on a leak list that I'm not aware of?
No, I don't think he was. No, but if he was, I would laugh.
Am I getting I don't know what the.
You're getting Back to the Future 2 with the almanac.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? All right, here we go. Redman, you're up again.
Okay. Let's see. I had someone in mind. Oh, Kodokan. I think easy. Maybe least not as likely, but
at least one person returning from MKX, I feel like has to be on that initial roster reveal, just because you have to establish, hey, those of you that started with MKX, remember this guy? You know, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. You got to have one.
Agreed.
Just to show that they're at least keeping them in the game, not dumping them all. With that logic, actually, I am going to throw down on Cassie Cage. I feel like she could be a starter there, just to kind of same logic. I feel like she has a better shot than Devora.
Oh yes, by far.
In that regard. Temp?
I will go Fujin for my next pick. I think there's a very strong likelihood he is going to show up in the E3 trailer, gameplay trailer at least. So, yeah, if it wasn't for the Movado troll, I would have picked him first for sure.
Makes sense, yeah.
Although I don't think Movado's impossible. It is a wager, though. I'm very much aware it's a wager. But Fujin, man, there'd be so much goodwill from the fans if they put Fujin in the reveal.
Right.
Agreed.
Redman?
Let's get out of the way and say Scorpion. I think he's easily the most likely of any characters. If he wasn't, that would be insane. But
yeah,
easy pick.
Well, historically, he was on a reveal in MK versus DC. He didn't show up for a little while longer.
Yeah, I don't think they've led with him with every game, but yeah, he's definitely, if you're gonna place your bets, not the biggest payoff, but he's at least gonna get you guaranteed 3 points if he is. My next one, I will go with Frost. Same logic as Noob Saibot in the sense that they want to lead with a character that people have been asking for. Plus, I feel like you got to have some female character representation in there, and I feel like the 3D era, at least one character from the 3D era that people have been asking for, like a Frost or a Fujin, etc. If they want to win people over quickly, do it that way. So, Frost. Tim?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna get Sub-Zero out of the way. Sub-Zero. And that's all I have to say about that, really. I think, yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
The Saints taken.
And this is 7 choices?
Yeah, 7 choices.
Okay. All right, so my next one will be... I'll go with Havoc. Maybe
Interesting.
some realm they'll consider revealing him early.
Really
If
depends
he
on his
can.
role in the game. Like, if
Yeah.
he's going to play some sort of string puller boss type character, even if he's not the main boss, but he's trying to be that secretive boss, kind of like how they had him in the comics, then I would imagine they'd hold off on the reveal of him. But yeah, if he's just like another dude running around causing chaos, then I would think they would get him out there quick.
If they want to like shock people with someone, like I think Havoc's a good
Right.
role for that. Like
He's in the
everyone
same,
be like,
yeah.
who the fuck is this guy? Like
He's in that same like 3D era boat. If they want to make people happy with like a Havoc, Fujin, or Frost, he's in that boat for sure. He's in that conversation. Okay, next one. So I've got Noob, I got Cassie, I got Frost. I'm gonna say Kenshi just because he's usually not shown like right out of the gate, and I feel like if anything, they should cycle those types of appearances. So Kenshi would be a good reveal. He's popular. He's obviously known as probably the biggest success, maybe other than Quan Chi, out of the 3D era. So why not just get him out there right away? And he's a flashy character. He looks cool. So Kenshi.
okay.
That works.
Now Tim.
Yep.
I'm gonna say Li Mei. I feel like they're, again, just as a message of goodwill, I too think they'll pick a 3D era character. Frost was my number 1 pick for you when I was looking through your list, so I will agree and say Li Mei is a very strong candidate now.
Yeah.
Symbol next to her name.
And I think Li Mei appeals the same way in Frost, in the sense that, and I already see Redman like lining up in a shot with Serena down there. But no, I think they all fall in the same boat as they were cameos in MKX, and I feel like getting a cameo character from the last game appearing as an initial roster reveal in the next game just makes a lot of sense. It's a character that people just saw, so even if you're unfamiliar with the character from the old games, you at least just saw them recently, so it would make sense to follow up with one of those. Which, oddly enough, they're all female. Other than Fujin.
Yeah.
I guess Fujin falls into that, but... Alright,
True.
so, who did you... Redman's up, right?
Yeah, so I'll just get Serena out of the way for the same reason. I think safe bet 4 points, like same as Havoc.
Yep.
Female, it works.
Makes sense, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would be disappointed, honestly, if they don't at least throw out one of those, as Temp said, goodwill, in the sense you got to establish that faith, much like they did with Injustice 2. Injustice 2's roster reveals were done very well in the sense that they gave you something new right out of the gates, and like fan desired characters right out of the gate, and with each like returning character, they revealed another new character that fans wanted. So they definitely established that faith quite early on, so I hope they do that with MK11. I do not want to wait, 8 months to find out Fujin's in the game if he is. Like I just don't think that's a good strategy this time around. Next pick for me, let's see, I've chosen 4 picks so far. For my 5th pick, I'm going to kind of go the same route as you guys and throw down on Raiden. I want to get a safe pick in there. Not that Raiden's a one that they normally reveal right away, because I don't think he is, but...
He's usually like one of the ones after like the initial reveal.
Yeah, but
Comes out, like a little later.
I think the fact that he isn't usually like initial reveal. He is one of those characters that is very recognizable, so I could see him being this time. So, yep, I'll throw Raiden into the mix.
I always thought Raiden would be, but until like I realized he's dark now, maybe they'll hold off on him. Like,
Yeah,
I still think he's got a good shot if they just throw him in there.
but if anything, that kind of adds some intrigue to him. Is people that weren't in the know, that haven't been following along, might say, "Oh, why is Raiden dressed in all black? I want to see more about this game." I don't know.
But, yeah, they're trying to set up the plot in the CGI trailer. I feel like Raiden's very probable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, my next one is Nitara. I just feel like, I don't know. I think they should be like dropping a bomb on the fan base. I realize that that's not compatible with all my other selections, but I'm here for points. So I feel like it's just a good wager, and I feel like people would be I think people would slow clap that. I think people would be excited. So
right.
Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully Nitara probably is not going to be in the game, but I hope she is. I think she has a decent chance at least. So hopefully she'll show up in the reveal.
So how many left do we have? Each?
So you started, yeah. So we should each have 2 left. So this.
Okay.
Yep. And
okay,
you might have just 1 left. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, because you start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, you have 2. So yeah, we're right.
Okay. So I will go with Boraicho. I think maybe he'll be like the Kinshi and they'll just reveal him early and get him right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to lead with like a character that was DLC last time, just to be like, hey, this character's in the game.
Yeah, I think he's likely. I don't think he's like guaranteed, but it would be something like interesting, like people would laugh and shit, and like I think that'd be a funny reveal at E3. Like people would know what to make of it. So.
Oh, I made the stinky. Oh.
That's literally how the trailer starts out.
Misa borracho.
You just hear like a bass note and then the logo MK11.
Just farts out the logo. Like I don't know, dude. Just pukes everywhere. Slips on the puke.
The reveal is just Boraicho mirrors.
That's the only character that was revealed as Boraicho.
Throws up the logo, shits himself on the way out. Good stuff. All right. Next up, I will go. Initial gameplay reveal. I'm gonna throw Cyrax into the mix, just because maybe since the cyborgs didn't get a whole lot of love the last game from a story perspective, especially Sector was just ahead by the time story rolled around. Cyrax was nowhere to be found. Smoke wasn't obviously a cyborg. Cyborg sub wasn't really a thing by that point. And then you got Triborg DLC, but even though that scratched an itch for some, I still feel like most, I don't know, maybe they're looking to make up for that. Plus you get that splash of MK3 love, which definitely was lacking in MKX. So if you want to get that MK3 love out there, include a Cyborg Ninja. So
I think it's likely, yeah. I could definitely see a Cyborg being revealed early on. Since it was so lacking in MKX, like why not?
What did Chrome say in the chat? None of
basically
you may ever say anything about
like,
me liking Boraicho.
Dumb farts and puke and shit.
I mean, that was the point. I was making fun of it because I don't like it. But yeah, I acknowledge it can be silly and funny. Anyways, let's move on. All right.
The next one I picked was actually this one's I don't even think likely even for points, but I think they're going to want to show off the engine. So I'm going to say Scarlet. I think they're going to do some really crazy elemental stuff with her. Almost like Glacius level animation. So if she's in the game, I think she's going to be flashy as hell, again with the acrobatics. So I will say Scarlet.
Nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially with the Glacius stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I like the throwback to a DLC character that most doubt that will even come back at this point. Like, I mean, she only missed 1 game since her debut, so it's not like the end of her run or anything. But Yeah, I don't know. That would be cool though if they lead with her like that.
I hope so. I'm hoping that'll be the case.
I mean, that E3 reveal is huge because I mean, that might be your biggest audience that you're establishing right there. So, who you debut with that, especially, I mean, it's most likely that they at least put in one or two new characters in there. For the reason I'm saying is that you have such a huge audience, you want to at least get lead with your best foot forward. So, because that's exposure for those characters. So they need to be. It's important who you choose for that role.
Agreed.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Redman, your last pick.
Yeah, I'm going basically just for the points, and like if they do it for shock factor, I would go with Motaro. Just if that ever happens, this is the most unlikely thing that would probably happen. But if they did put him in the game, I think they'd want to get him out early because like everyone would react, be like, "Whoa, who the fuck is this?" Like if they don't remember him from MK3, like it would just bring a ton of people, like Grodd did. Like no one expected Grodd, so I'll go with Motaro just in case.
I'm surprised by that logic. I'm surprised you didn't go Blaze.
I was thinking about Blaze, but I figure if he is in the game, he would be more like kind of boss material. I don't know if
Right.
they'd go with Motaro as a boss. Maybe a sub boss, but
Sure. Okay. Last pick for myself. It's kind of difficult. Oh, man, I mean, I have a few picks that I would like to throw in, but this being the last one, I gotta make it count. I feel like there's 4 strong contenders that could be in this. I'll just name them just to get your guys' thoughts, but then I'll tell you who I'm actually picking. But Shang Tsung for obvious reasons, because instant recognizability, instant people happy to see him back. Those
Yeah.
who have been asking for him. Rain for the same exact reason.
so you're asking our thoughts on
No,
these?
no,
or-
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I'm just listing them. You can chime in
Gotcha.
with reactions after I've already chosen. Shujinko for the 3D era effect, and because honestly, even though I didn't like Shujinko back then, like in Deception, I really liked the way he looked in Cassie's ending, and I think that Pai Mei look would be really badass if they just go that like if they just take that and run with it and make him completely that type of character. I think would be badass. And as Temp has explained several times, in his combos, I think including other people's specials, but like in different ways in his combos would be really badass. But yeah, I think it just has a really cool look, that Asian aesthetic, that Kung Fu master aesthetic that I think Mortal Kombat needs to get back to a degree.
I would hope he has Cassie's guns if he's in the game, because like in Mortal Kombat X, one of my greatest joys was stealing Cassie's powers with Shinnok and shooting out those guns like an idiot. Like that was one of my favorite things to do in that game. It looks so the fucking like cowboys and Indian shit he was doing with the pose and everything. Oh my god, it was
Right.
so ridiculous.
Or, and then the fourth one that I was gonna list is, I mean, I would be like tripling down on this one, but not Cyber Sub, Triborg. Triborg, from the idea that like, hey, this wasn't just a gimmick character. We are gonna run with this, and boom, here you go. But and you kind of get like 3 characters in one or 4 characters in one if you include him. So, anyways, my actual pick though is gonna be Shujinko, for the reasons I mentioned. I just think he would make for a cool looking character if they do him right, with the updated graphics and all the things that they can do now with the badass designs that they've been pumping out with MKX. Like, they make the characters look better than they ever have in a lot of cases. And I think Shujinko is going to benefit from that, with the long beard flowing as he fights, with the little kind of like the ponytail and the just everything that he's got. I think would look really, really badass as your Kung Fu master. And seeing in the gameplay trailer itself, seeing him using people's specials in unique ways, I think would get a lot of like big reactions from people. Like, oh my god, he's using Scorpion Spear, but he's not like throwing it and bringing the opponent back with it. He's just like, maybe he's like whipping the kunai or whatever across him. I don't know. All sorts of crazy shit I think would look really badass. So I'm gonna throw Shujinko into the mix. And that's that.
Yeah.
For my final pick, I will pick Reptile, just because I feel like a big portion of the E3 reveal is going to be 3D era characters or unorthodox characters. So they're going to bring back the classic three ninjas to counterbalance that out. And I feel like with all these big names that we got to put a job run there somewhere.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
He was not originally on my list. I kind of crossed him out at the last minute because originally on my list was Smoke, but I think they're doing. Let me put this prediction out there. I do think Smoke is in the game, and I do think they're going to do really big shit with him. I think when they reveal Smoke, no one is ready for what's going to happen. He is going to look crazy in this game. They're really going to use the current gen tech and make that character look fucking insane. That is my prediction, and I don't think they're going to do that at E3. I think they're going to do that at EVO. So that's how I feel about that.
That would be sick.
Man, the Raiden reveal was sick at EVO. Now imagine we do a character that people cared about.
Oh damn, what?
I'm joking. I'm like 2/3 joking, but I was not hyped to see Raiden.
That's not enough.
Let me put it this way. Everyone knew Raiden was going to be an MKX, right? Like,
sure.
There was no question. No one knew Smoke would be an MKX. Like, I think Smoke is going to blow heads off when they reveal him. I don't think anyone's ready for that. Or I could be totally wrong, and in a year, I'm going to look like an idiot. So we'll see. We'll see.
The Evo reveal would be best fitted for a character that was very popular in the competitive crowd.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah. Your
Smokes, your Cyraxes, something like your Cabal, obviously. So any of those characters, I think, would get the biggest reactions in that environment. So yeah, I think you're on the right track with that.
Just to show the other side of the coin, if EVO comes around and everyone's tuned in and refreshing their streams, and they reveal Johnny Cage, I would be pissed. I'd be like, are you serious? I like Johnny Cage. I want him to be in the game, and I know there's a chance he might not make it, but man, that would not be hype. Like, unless it's like Johnny Cage the Ninra, that would just be not hype at all. So, yeah, I really hope they use EVO, because this is a competitive crowd. The people watching this probably played MK9 and almost certainly played MKX. So do it right. Make this count, you know? So, yeah. That's why I say Reptile. I love Reptile. I absolutely adore Reptile. I think he's awesome. I think he's adorable. I hope he comes back.
Reptile's a good choice. I agree with your ninja assessment. Like, if you're going to fill the E3 reveal with, like, kind of the weirder characters, you know, you need, like, those ninjas to offset that, so.
I mean, honestly, MKX was the first time in almost a decade I think they did not reveal three ninjas at the start. So, we'll see.
Yeah, they were pretty much focused on the new characters.
Okay, no, MK versus GC, my bad. Yeah, but still.
They had their initiative of pushing the new characters just to establish. And that's what I was talking about Redman as we close this down. I was talking about with Redman last night is that basically the initial gameplay reveal says a lot about what the game is about. I think, like I was just saying earlier, who you lead off with is huge in establishing the theme of the game. With MK9, like you had said before, when you saw Nightwolf and we saw... who else was in there? Sector and like other MK3 characters, Melina and all that. Jax. It told you this is a retelling of MK1 through 3. It told you that right out of the gate. You're going to see all your favorites back from the trilogy era. With MKX, it told you this is all about a new beginning, so to speak. We're time jumping. These are a bunch of new characters. It was all about the new characters, and that's what MKX was. It was centered around the new characters. So that initial gameplay reveal, along with the cinematic reveal or whatever they do, Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting in a random wooded area, like that doesn't really tell you a whole lot about what the story is or what like the theme of the game is, what the gimmicks are. But that gameplay reveal absolutely does. The characters they include tells you what the focus is going to be. So yeah, if they want... I doubt they're going to lead with a bunch of new characters because they did that last time, and I don't think that's what the focus is going to be this time. So I would be shocked if it's not, you know, some of these 3D era characters. At least one. You got to at least throw one in there just to put that hook out, you know, get people hooked.
I'll add to that, too. I think that's correct. And not only do the reveals set the tone for the whole game, but they're also reactionary to the previous game. No, there was a lot of new characters in MKX in contrast to there's almost no new characters in MK9.
Right.
But if you look at the MK9 trailer, almost every character in that trailer was not an MK versus DC.
Right.
So I very feel like they're reactionary to the previous game as they are setting the tone for the new game as well. So, God, it's going to be crazy. Like the MK11 reveal, no matter what they show, even if it is Bo Raicho farting, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be fun, and it's coming up. So,
yeah, it's going to be insanely good or insanely bad, but I don't think there's going to be anything they can show me where it's not like,
that's going to elicit no reaction. Yeah, it's got to elicit reaction because we have so much writing on this. We've been waiting for several years, and yeah, I mean, there's just, yeah, it's going to be big.
They reveal like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Devora, Kotal Khan, and Cassie Cage, I'll still be fucking turned because I'll be like, what the fuck is even going on? So there's no way, there's nothing they can't show that's not going to shock me almost. I've been wrong before, though, so we'll see.
But yeah, I mean, what I was telling Redman is I think, like, if I were to throw down a prediction of their criteria on what they're going to build the... Because obviously I was just choosing from my own roster the best choices, and I was leading both with points in mind and with who's going to, you know, wow the crowd the best. Who are they going to lead with? But ultimately, what I think they're going to do or what I'm hoping they do, obviously you lead off with Sub and Scorp because... That's your golden boys. That's makes sense. And then let's say they're including 6. We'll just say 6. So you have your 2 golden boys in there, instant recognizability and iconic status. And then next, I think you're gonna have 1 returning from MKX shown, like that was debuted in MKX, just because you want to establish this is a continuation to the story, and we are not abandoning the characters we just created. So you're gonna get that, be it Aaron Black or Kotal Khan or whoever, Cassie. And then you gotta have a female character in there just because I feel like you gotta have that representation. And some of these could overlap, of course. You could have the returning character be a female or whatever. 3D era character, just that wasn't in the last one. Like I don't think you're gonna lead with Bo. I think you would lead with like a Frost or a Fujin or whatever, somebody that you didn't have in the last game. And then you gotta include 1 or 2 at least that were not in an MKX. Like you gotta at least show returning characters that were not in MKX that people were asking for are going to be in this game. It's not going to just be MKX Part 2. Like, I feel like you got to have some of that, like a Jade, someone like that coming back. And then I hope that you include, like, a familiar face. Like, somebody that we saw in the story in MKX. Like a Lee May, a Fujin, etc. Serena. I'm hoping that's the case. And then maybe 1 new character. Because I feel like it is important to get at least 1 new I wouldn't want any more, but just 1 new character would be nice just to get some intrigue built around that character.
Yeah, Django always says he likes small rosters, and 90% of the time I do agree with him, but there's just too much writing on this game. This game, for me at least, really does have a sense of finality about it, so I think they just can't really afford to leave anyone out, so everything's going to hurt. Everything's going to be sore for every character that I wanted that did not make it. It's going to be like a Viking funeral for me, so...
Well, let's hope it's like Injustice 2, where even though they don't have everything, let's hope that they get 90% of it right. So let's hope it's the opposite of MKX in the sense where they did 4/5 of it right rather than, you know, a lot of missteps. So on that note, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add? Anything you wanted to predict or add into this whole mix, or are we good to put this doggy to bed for now?
I'm good to go. That covers everything I have to say.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I just wanted to add that I think you're right. I think MK is so much more important than Injustice. That's why it hurts less when, you know, the characters don't make it in Injustice. But this is the last MK we're going to get for at least 4 years. So
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the roster has to be good. You know, it's got to cover a lot of base points. So
I'm hoping for 35 characters. That's horribly optimistic, but
On the initial roster?
yeah, the initial.
Initial?
Dang,
Damn.
no, yeah.
I feel like if it's less than 35, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna really hurt.
You're really setting yourself up for failure.
No, that's true, but I mean,
I would
How many
say
did Injustice
30.
2 have?
Injustice 2 had 28 or
29?
29.
Yeah.
It was 28 or 29 starting, but they had legacy, so, and they didn't have variation, so I don't know how much that affects things. But to put things into perspective, MKX, which was their first game on the newer consoles, so there is that playing a factor, did have variations, 3 of them to be exact. Maybe they cut it down to 2 or whatever. Anyways, I think MKX had 25 if you count Goro. Yeah. So I feel like if they can hit 5 more than that starting, and we get 30 for starting, that is what I want. If they hit 30, that's when I'm satisfied. Plus, it's NetherRealm loves to be able to biggest starting roster ever. Like, they love to throw that in there. They love those kind of marketing things, marketing phrases.
They said, most new characters in the game, even though I think it was tied with Deception.
Yeah, most new characters. Injustice 2, it was biggest starting roster, and most DLC we put out, like, even though it was just one more. With MK11, I expect the exact same. It's gonna be the biggest starting roster, obviously not counting like Armageddon or any of that, but biggest starting roster by 1. I think they'll hit 30, and then I think they qualified it by saying since they become NetherRealm Studios, which makes sense because you can't really count the old Sprite days. That's not really fair. So since they become NetherRealm Studios, it'll be their biggest starting roster, which would have to be 30. And then I think they're going to have 10 DLC, do 1 more than they did for Injustice 2. So that would give us 40 characters at the end of the day. I think even if you write 5 of those off, or 4 or 5 of those off as guest characters, which will be, and then you write off 4 of them as like new characters, 3 or 4 new characters, that still leaves, at the end of the day, 31 returning characters, which is, that is a sizable chunk. Think of it. I mean, we made our 30 character rosters before, just recently, and yeah, some had to be left out, but 31 still enough to get most of the important ones in there.
I guess the wound that's still kind of sore for me is Tekken 7 had 37 characters starting roster without DLC, and they still left out Julia, Lei Wulong, and Anna. So I'm still nursing that wound. That's why I've been counting like the secondary characters I love that didn't even come close. I don't think we'll ever see Kunimitsu again, like ever, just unfortunately. But yeah, so it's not that I'm hoping for 35. If they don't reveal 35, my heart's not gonna be broken. But I'll be hurting in a different way. I'll be hurting the fact that there's no way they can meet the quota without 35. I'm not saying they have to have 35 morally, but that's what they need to do to really do justice to everyone. And I'm not hoping for it, but that's logically just what I think needs to happen. Tekken 7 couldn't do it with 37 characters. So I'm hoping Mortal Kombat can do it with 35, but I'm not hoping for 35 at the same time. I just think that's the reality.
I'm still gonna 30 is my minimum for me, 5 more than MKX. But I'll meet you in the middle. I'm gonna hope for 32. That's nice and rounded number there, 32 in the sense of 16, 2 rows of 16, or however you want to break it down. 32, and then 10 DLC, 42 at the end of the day. That wouldn't be bad, but yeah.
I would be fine with that.
At the end of the day, it's not so much about the numbers, it's about how well you use those numbers. And I know that there's give and take. Obviously, if you make 20 slots and they're all like perfect, there's still more left out, than desired. So I agree with you there. I do care about roster size. But if you did like 30 starting and you made them count and you really minimalize the filler, maybe only do 2 new characters, keep the guests to 4 instead of 5. You're opening up more space for the right characters to be in. I think that's huge.
Yeah. Indeed.
And also, if some of these characters sit out that should sit out, that itself is huge as well. There's so many characters that can afford to sit out at least just one game to let the ones that really need this to make it happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, 42 rosters sounds good to me. I don't want more than I don't want any more than 42.
It becomes a point where it's hard to even learn matchups and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
30. Yeah,
I think
anywhere. People, I agree with him.
I think anywhere around 40 at the end of the day is pretty impressive. Well, not impressive, but it's to me that's decent. 10 rows or 4 rows of 10 sounds like a lot. So, but yeah, I agree. If they can hit 40 and they actually make it count, that's what's important. So, let's just hope MKX was a learning point and that Injustice 2 was not a fluke, and that they really do legitimately are going to take a harder look at this, and we do get these characters, because that's more important. I mean, I can settle for a 35 character roster at the end of the day, as long as those 35 really you hit on all cylinders. So, but we'll see. On that note, we'll wrap this up, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. Like I said, I will be posting the link to the document that you can then save and use this. Use it with your friends, use it in the community, use it on the Discord. I want everybody to participate, have fun with it, maybe schedule a night. I know the guys on the Discord just recently, they liked the whole pick 30 characters for the roster in DLC, so they orchestrated that on their own nights recently in the Discord. So if you're not on Discord yet, you're missing out, because the community is great, and they like to carry on these types of things that we do in between each other, and do it amongst themselves as well with everyone. So that's fun. I think that's great, and that's awesome. I love that you guys do that sort of stuff. So, yep, I will be supplying the same document that we used, and just follow along with the same criteria. Listen back if you need to. I can always type out the rules that we went by as well. And then have fun with it and share what you guys chose. And then hopefully we'll keep, if it doesn't get too crazy, we should be able to keep up with the master list of this. And then hopefully have some sort of prize for whoever wins. But on that note, thanks everyone for tuning in. And take care.
Peace.
Later, guys.
MK11's coming soon. I mean, the announcement. But that's where the fun begins anyway. So see you guys.